I don't need the money. She doesn't. Why am I here? I don't need friends like that. I don't need the money. Why am I here? Well, it's a good question, Kyle. And by the way, maybe you should take a minute off. They're never going to fire you. Maybe you don't need the money. The agency is worth $100 million plus. You're the mother of most children. He will always help you out. You have a lot of money. Now, look, Kyle loves fame and she loves even more money and she spends even more money. She's not leaving the housewife. She's just not. So maybe that's why, right? And she's saying that Bose only sees things through Dorit's lens. Well, that is true at the moment. But let me tell you, I mean, if Bose is here in 5 seasons, 3 seasons, 4 seasons, and so is Dorit, trust me, there'll be cracks between Dorit and Bose eventually. And she said that Garcelle and Sutton, who are more her friends than Dorit's friends, were supporting Dorit in this. Probably, Kyle, because they know Dorit is right. And the only person kind of sticking up for her was Erica. And she said that she really did take a moment. Garcelle said, I thought we lost Kyle forever. When she quit, I really actually thought she was never going to be back. So there you go. And I guess Garcelle really thought that she quit, and she did quit, and now she's back. And I just call bullshit on the whole thing because I don't think you were ever going to quit for a real, Kyle. It is what it is. No personal offense. And Sutton said, "Well, I didn't follow her out of the room because I was over the stupid text." Garcelle said, um, I thought we never see her again. But Jennifer Tilly has come forward. This was on the after show and said, I didn't think she was quitting. I thought she was just causing a big commotion because she didn't like where the conversation was going. And she didn't want to focus on the text and to wrangle her way out of dealing with the text. She caused a big commotion. Yes, Jennifer Tilly. Yes, that is it. Welcome to Housewives. Tilly and Boz are doing great. I'm loving it. What a great first season. In other news, Craig and Paige. Craig has unfollowed Paige. Not much there. I mean, there's a lot of talk about the timeline and did she cheat? I don't know. I can't even read any more about this. I don't think that she cheated. But Craig has unfollowed her. This is so. Does anyone else ever do this in like a breakup? Like you break up with someone or you stop with a friend and it is what it is. And then it ends somewhat amicably and it's over. And then it's quiet. Like you're out and you're drinking and you're partying and you're trying to like, numb the pain with, drugs, casual sex, sleep, pills, alcohol. But when you're alone and you don't have any of that and the thoughts creep in your mind, you start to it's the 5 stages of grief and you start to go from like well, it's no big deal. I wish her the best of luck and I wish him the best of luck to like, you get angry. So I think Craig is in the angry stage of the 5 stages of grief. And I'm not even knocking him. I mean, public consensus is, yeah, Paige used him and she always knew. I mean, I'm not on anyone's team in this horse race, but I don't disagree with this analysis. Paige knew she was never going to leave New York. And she, I mean, Craig is hot. And I mean, he certainly understands what it's like to be a reality TV star. And she certainly understands. And they were having good sex and they were going to BravoCon. I mean, imagine going to BravoCon and then having your person there you could have sex with that night and the person you're with. And, yes, they did sacrifices and he was up here and she was down there, but it was fun. And I mean, even though Paige is 32 and feels like, she needs to take the weight of the world on her shoulders, 32 is just so young. So basically, you know, I do think at 32, especially when you're 29, you start dating someone, you just blink an eye and you're like, well, I was just having fun. And rightfully so. I'm not even coming for her. I mean, I don't know if everything needs to be so serious, but I do think she probably, I don't know if used him is the right word because I think you do think there's some world where it could work. He's even done an interview and saying, there would be weeks where Paige would be in New York and just call me and, oh, baby, life is so good and I had such a good day and I can't wait to see you and let's go build a farm together somewhere and you're all I need. And then other days he would call her and check in and she would say, I love New York so much. I love New York so much. I'm still here in LA. Meaning me. And it's been an interesting month here in LA. The fog and the smog has lifted, although I just saw an article on Instagram. I don't know what's in my feed. Do not believe the reports that the air in LA is thinned out and is great. It's really harmful and toxic. And it's a moot point at this point because I'm getting the fuck out of here in a week and a half. So I'm getting out of here, going back to the Hamptons to hibernate. I want to go to East Hampton Grill and I want the fucking shrimp cocktail. Okay. And I want the martinis. They bring you the martinis. I love when I went out with Sarah and George Katsiopoulos. You guys know George Katsiopoulos from Fashion Police. It was me, him, George, Sarah Fraser, and another friend of ours. We went out to Smokehouse in Burbank on Saturday night, and they do the same thing East Hampton Grill does. I love where you don't really get that much more of a drink, but I love where they bring you the martini in the traditional V-shaped glass. And then they have the leftover martini and a carafe on the side, and they put it in ice. That's what Smokehouse does. But what they do at East Hampton Grill, they take it one step further. They give you that carafe on the side, and then they bring you the martini glass. But get this. As you're sipping your martini, you could be 3 sips in, 4 sips in, whatever it is. When they come around and they see that your glass is no longer chilled, because they give you it in a chilled glass, they will come by with a fresh, chilled glass and they will put the fresh, chilled glass down on the table. They will pick your martini up and they will pour your current drink, which, as long as you don't have it in your hand, into the freshly chilled glass and take the current glass you were drinking out of away. And I don't mean when you're done with it. I mean, you could be 3 sips in, 4 sips in, when they see it's no longer chilled. So everyone who's in the Hamptons this coming summer, stop by East Hampton Grill and have the shrimp cocktail and have a martini. It's really good. Anyway, moving along. So I think Craig is in that stage of grief. Kristen Doty. If I didn't make it clear before, I mean, I think I have on this podcast. Let me make it very clear. My number one favorite Vanderpump cast member in the history of Vanderpump Rules is Miss Doty. I have always been a fan of Miss Doty, ever since she told someone to suck a dick. She went after a Miami girl. She was told, I don't know what I did with you, but I'll take a Pinot Grigio. Well, she has been talking a lot. And she says Schwartzy and Sandy have broken up. That she thinks Sandoval is going through a midlife crisis. Duh. He sucks at playing the traitors. I can give you that. But you know what? At this point, I mean, Tom, I would say what a brilliant game player, but it's not game. But I would just say triple down on it, dude, and just pretend you're an idiot and just clueless because you will get far that way.